In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on October 13, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Arizona Coyotes versus Pittsburgh Penguins. The opening week of the NHL season brings us an interconference matchup as a pair of teams open up their seasons in the Steel City. It's the Arizona Coyotes are on the road as they make the cross-country trip to face the Pittsburgh Penguins Thursday night. Arizona finished last season with a 25-50-7 record to end up in the cellar of the Central Division and out of the postseason for the 9th time in the last 10 seasons. Pittsburgh finished last season 46-25-11 to end up 3rd in the Metropolitan Division, but was eliminated in 7 games in the first round of the playoffs by the Rangers. The Penguins own a 9-0-1 record in the last 10 meetings between the teams, including a 4-1 road triumph on March 19, 2022. Arizona is 29-59 in their last 88 road games and 30-69 in their last 99 games overall, while the over is 10-1 in their last 12 games overall. Pittsburgh is 6-2 in their last 8 home games and 20-8 in their last 28 games against the Central Division, while over is 4-0 in their last 4 home games. Last season in the lone game between these teams and Pittsburgh, the Pens won 6-3. I look for that sort of game in this one, but do not see the Coyotes getting that many goals. Their best player in Keller is recovering from a leg injury and may not go. After him, the Coyotes do not have much in the scoring department, and that will show in this game. On the other side of the coin, the Penguins have a lot of firepower in their attack. They will get off to a good start this season with a solid offensive and defensive performance. I get the case to be made for an underdog in some spots, but the Coyotes could easily be the worst team in the NHL this season and aren't a team I'm looking to back in any capacity. The Penguins did a good job bringing back their core group of players from last year's team, including Malkin and Ledang, and even if they didn't, there wasn't much of a chance for Arizona in this game to begin with. This is a battle of 2 teams with extremely different outlooks on this season, and with the weapons the Penguins have offensively and an edge in net, you have to trust them to take care of things in this contest. So the Pittsburgh Penguins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Arizona finished last season with the over posting a 40-36-6 record on the year. The Coyotes saw an average total of 6.28 goals per game in their contests last season. That number barely budged when they were on the road, as it inched up to 6.29 goals per game in their contests. As the visitors, Pittsburgh saw the over hold a slim 40-39-3 margin in their games last season. The Penguins saw an average of 5.99 goals per game on the season. During their home contests, that number climbed to an average of 6.44 goals per game at the PPG Paints Arena. We've seen the teams split the last 10 meetings in relation to the total, though 3 of the last 4 games in the Steel City fell short of the mark. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New Jersey Devils versus Philadelphia Flyers. The New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers will face off against each other to kick off the 2022-2023 regular season on Thursday night at Wells Fargo Center. The Devils finished last season in 7th in the Metropolitan Division with a 27-46-9 record, and was the 3rd worst in the Eastern Conference. The Flyers were right behind them in the Metropolitan Division with a 25-46-11 record, and were the 2nd worst team in the Eastern Conference. With both teams in the bottom 5 in terms of team points, they need to figure out how to step up and do a lot better to begin the season. They played 3 games against one another last season, and the Devils won 2 of those games, including both games in their own building. The Devils are 13-38 in their last 51 road games and 20-50 in their last 70 overall. The Flyers are 1-6 in their last 7 home games and 12-40 in their last 52 overall. The over is 25-9-1 in Devils' last 35 road games. The under is 3-0-1 in and Flyers last 4 overall. The Devils are 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. The favorite is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. Two Metropolitan Division teams who had a tough go in 2021 to 2022 get to start a fresh new season as the Philadelphia Flyers host the New Jersey Devils. The Flyers begin their tenure with John Tortorella behind the bench, but they also begin a reshaping of their team and the culture. The Devils and their young stars such as Jack Hughes and 2020 draft picks Dawson Mercer and Alexander Holtz begin another season that doesn't have high expectations, but will be a year to gain experience. This should be a tight game, as both teams are not yet built for sustained success. However, while they may not be a playoff team, the Devils have decent depth and great potential, even without captain Nico Hischier. Dougie Hamilton, Jesper Bratt, and Ondrej Palat are other leaders who can set the tone for this squad. The Flyers are a perfect matchup for the Devils, who will look to quieten the home crowd early on. We think the Devils are the stronger team, with more offensive production at 4.7 goals per game compared to the Oilers' 2.3. We feel the Devils will dictate a pace that the Flyers will not be able to keep up with, so the New Jersey Devils money line is our full game side pick. The Devils averaged 2.99 goals per game last season and 2.95 goals per game on the road. They averaged 3 goals per game in their last 3 games against the Flyers. The Flyers were one of the worst defensive teams in the league last season, giving up 3.59 goals per game and 3.46 goals per game at home. They improved their defense with the signing of Tony DeAngelo and will be better than they were last season, so don't expect the Devils to score more than 3 goals in this game. The Flyers averaged 2.56 goals per game and 2.78 goals per game at home. They averaged 2.67 goals per game in their last 3 games against the Devils. Both of these teams really struggled last season and sat at the bottom of the Metropolitan Division. New Jersey brought in Ondrej Palat, who will make them a dangerous offensive team. Philadelphia struggled on offense last season, and I believe that they will start very slow on offense this year. With New Jersey upgrading their defense and adding a veteran goalie that has a career 2.68 goals against average, the Flyers won't score enough goals to push the score past the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Ottawa Senators versus Buffalo Sabres. The Ottawa Senators are looking to improve off of last season as they were 7th in the Atlantic Division but were able to finish with a 7-2-1 record down the stretch to hopefully begin this season with some momentum. This is DJ Smith's 4th season with the team as the head coach and needs to figure things out as he has failed to reach the playoffs thus far in his tenure. The Buffalo Sabres did not make the playoffs for the 11th consecutive season last year as they were 5th in the Atlantic Division and are looking to end that drought beginning on Thursday night's season opener at KeyBank Center. They are dealing with a few injuries heading into the season, but still have high hopes for their young group to gel together. Ottawa is 5-1 in their last 6 games and 4-1 in their last 5 games against the Eastern Conference. The under is 3-1-3 in Ottawa's last 7 road games. Buffalo is 5-1 in their last 6 games and 4-1 in their last 5 home games. The over is 8-3 in Buffalo's last 11 home games. Ottawa is 5-1 in these two teams' last 6 head-to-head meetings. The Ottawa Senators open up their NHL season in Buffalo as they play the Sabres on Thursday night. Both teams are looking to erase forgettable seasons last year, as they both missed the playoffs by 25-plus points. The Senators come into this game having made some big moves this offseason. They signed free agent and former Flyers captain, forward Claude Giroux, traded 1st, 2nd, and 4th round picks to the Blackhawks for forward Alex DeBrincat, and traded for goalie Cam Talbot. Add those names to a roster that includes forwards Tim Stutzel and captain Brady Tkachuk, and this team looks primed to make the next step into the playoffs. The Sabres, who finished in the bottom 10 in goals scored, expected goals, and goals allowed last season, remain steadfast this season, only making a few moves. They signed forward Tage Thompson to an extension and will get their first full year out of the number 1 overall pick in 2021. Defenseman Owen Power. However, the most questionable moves came between the pipes. They brought back 41-year-old goalie Craig Anderson on a 1-year deal and also signed Eric Comrie, who was a backup in Winnipeg last year. Lean on the Senators on Thursday, as the forwards they brought in will help on the attack and prove to be too much for the uncertainty in net from the Sabres. So the Ottawa Senators money line is our full game side pick. Neither offense is seen as a threat at scoring the puck. While I do not love either goaltender with Anderson and Forsberg getting the start, they are going to stop subpar offensive teams. The Senators lost Matt Murray on top of others, which makes their roster depth a little bit questionable. Having this game being the first game of the regular season, these goaltenders have a lot of confidence going in and should do well. Both teams did a good job on the defensive side at the end of the preseason, as the Senators allowed 3.25 goals per game in their previous 4 games, while the Sabres are giving up 3 goals per game in their last 5 games. Ottawa had the overhit in just 42.9% of their games last season according to covers, and that is going to be tough. The under has hit in 5 of the previous 7 games against one another under the projected total as our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.